All right, let's dive into old school, new body. I'm really excited to dig into this one with you. It's all about reclaiming that youthful energy and vitality. And personally, I could definitely use a little more of that.
What's really interesting is that this book, it goes beyond just like the aesthetic of looking younger.
Mm.
Really focuses on feeling younger. So, having more energy, having a sharper mind, just feeling like your body's working the way it used to.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been seeing a lot of buzz about old school, new body online, and it seems like people are really saying they're experiencing those benefits. They're talking about increased energy, they're talking about getting leaner, even sharper thinking. I mean, if it's true, sign me up. But is there actually like any science backing these claims?
Well, actually, the system is rooted in some pretty solid science.
Hmm.
One of the core principles is muscle building. And, as we age, we naturally start to lose muscle mass. But old school new body suggests that we can actually kind of reverse that trend with regular strength training.
So we're not just talking about like bulking up here. We're talking about building the kind of functional strength that helps us, move through life with more ease and energy.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And the benefits go beyond just feeling physically stronger. Increasing your muscle mass can also boost your metabolism, which means your body's burning more calories even when you're not working out.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely a win-win. Now, the book also talks a lot about hormones, which I know change as we age. So what's the connection there with old school, new body?
You're right. As we age, hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, they naturally decline. But what's fascinating about OSMB is that it uses certain types of exercise, like high-intensity strength training, to kind of stimulate your body to produce more of those hormones naturally. So it's counteracting that age-related decline.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about working out. It's about working out in a way that supports our body's own like natural processes.
Exactly. And that's where the key components of the program come into play.
Okay, let's break it down then. What are the core elements of the old school new body system?
The program emphasizes three main areas: nutrition guidance, resistance training, and HIIT, high-intensity interval training.
All right, I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty. Let's start with nutrition. What kind of guidance does OSNB offer when it comes to like fueling our bodies for optimal results?
Well, it's not about like crazy restrictive dieting or anything like that. The focus is really on teaching you about how the food you eat impacts your body and then helping you make smart choices that support your fitness goals. It's really about nourishing your body from the inside out.
So it's more about making sustainable changes to how we eat rather than following some like fad diet.
Exactly. It's about understanding how food can fuel your workouts and help you achieve the results that you're looking for. And then, of course, when it comes to exercise, resistance training is a cornerstone of the program.
Okay, let's talk about that. What exactly does resistance training look like in the old school new body system?
It's actually very strategic. OSNB prioritizes compound exercises because those engage multiple muscle groups at the same time. Yeah. So it's a really efficient way to work out. You'll see a focus on things like squats, deadlifts, rows. These are all exercises that are known for building functional strength.
Okay, so I've definitely heard of those exercises, but I always think of those like super buff weightlifters when I hear those terms. Is that the kind of intensity we're talking about here?
Not necessarily. Yeah, those exercises are part of the program, but it's all about tailoring the intensity to your own fitness level and your goals. The emphasis is on building strength gradually and most importantly, safely.
Okay, phew. That makes me feel a little better. Now, I know that along with resistance training, OSNB also emphasizes high-intensity interval training, or HIIT.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. HIIT plays a key role. It's all about, short bursts of really intense effort followed by brief recovery periods.
So, like, imagine sprinting all out for a short burst, then catching your breath, and then hitting another sprint. Is that the kind of the general idea?
That's a great analogy. And what makes HIIT so effective is that it really elevates your heart rate. So you're burning a lot of calories during the workout, but it also helps boost your metabolism and promote fat loss.
So you're getting a great cardio workout and boosting your metabolism at the same time. No wonder people rave about HIIT.
Yeah, it's a really powerful tool for transforming your body composition and improving your cardiovascular health. And, combined with the other elements of OSMB can lead to some pretty impressive results.
Okay, so we've got the nutrition fueling our bodies and a combination of resistance training and HIIT to challenge our muscles and our cardiovascular system. But how does all of this actually work to shape and tone our bodies, especially as we get older? Let's dive a little deeper into the specifics, starting with resistance training.
Sure. One of the key principles behind OSMB's approach to resistance training is this idea of progressive overload.
Progressive overload. That sounds kind of
It's
intense.
actually simpler than it sounds. It just means gradually increasing the weight or the resistance you're using as you get stronger. So you're consistently challenging your muscles. And it's that consistent challenge that signals to your muscles to adapt and grow.
So basically, you're pushing your muscles just a little bit further each time. Does that mean I need to be lifting heavier and heavier weights every single workout?
Well, the general idea is to increase the weight over time, but it's important not to jump ahead too quickly. Proper form is essential to avoid injuries. And old school new body really emphasizes, mastering the technique before increasing the weight.
Okay, good advice. Safety first. Now, are we only focusing on those big compound movements we talked about, or does OSMB include any isolation exercises too? The kind that target specific muscles?
It does. Isolation exercises are also part of the program, and they're included to ensure balanced muscle development.
So it's like a multi-pronged approach, working those major muscle groups and then fine-tuning certain areas for a more sculpted physique.
Exactly. It's a holistic way to build strength and create a lean, toned look.
Got it. Now let's switch gears back to HIIT for a sec. You mentioned that it was a powerhouse for burning fat. Why is HIIT so effective at torching those extra calories?
Well, as we touched on before, it really gets your heart pumping, which means you're burning a ton of calories during the workout itself. But it doesn't stop there.
Right. I've heard that HIIT keeps your metabolism revved up even after you've finished exercising.
Yeah, that's right. It's called the afterburn effect.
Yeah.
So your body continues to burn calories at an elevated rate for hours after your HIA session. And the second reason HIA is so effective is that it challenges your body with those alternating bursts of intensity and recovery. This keeps your metabolism elevated and signals your body to burn fat more efficiently.
All right. I'm officially on board the HIIT train. Now let's talk fuel. What does old school new body recommend when it comes to nutrition for optimal body shaping?
The book really emphasizes a balanced approach, focusing on whole foods and making sure you're getting enough protein, especially to support muscle growth and recovery.
Okay, so we're talking lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beans, tofu.
Exactly. All great choices. Along with protein, OSNB also emphasizes choosing complex carbohydrates like whole grains and veggies. Those will give you sustained energy throughout the day.
So, brown rice over white rice, sweet potatoes instead of French fries, that kind of thing.
You got it. It's about making smart swaps that give you long-lasting energy without the blood sugar spikes and crashes you get from refined carbs.
All this talk about protein, carbs, and healthy fats is really making me realize how important food choices are in this system. It actually sounds like a pretty delicious way to fuel your body.
It is, and what I really like about the OSNB approach is that it's not about deprivation,
Mhm.
It's about making sustainable choices that nourish your body and support your fitness goals.
Yeah, I love that. Now, along with food, what about hydration? Does water play a big role in the old school new body system?
Oh, absolutely. Staying hydrated is crucial for, pretty much every bodily function, from digestion to muscle recovery.
Mm.
OSMB definitely recommends keeping that water bottle handy throughout the day.
Okay, noted. Last question on the nutrition front. What about healthy fats? Do those have a place in this system?
For sure. Healthy fats, like the kind you find in avocados, nuts, olive oil, those are super important. They'll help you feel satisfied after meals. They help keep your hormones balanced, and they're important for overall health.
Okay, so it's about getting enough protein to build muscle, fueling up with complex carbs for energy, staying hydrated, and incorporating those healthy fats. This sounds pretty manageable.
It is. It's a balanced and sustainable approach to nutrition, and it's designed to set you up for success.
I like it. This is all great information, but I have to admit I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. How do I actually turn all of this into an action plan for my own life?
That's a really common feeling.
Yeah.
It can be a lot to take in at first. But remember, even small changes can make a big difference over time. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Okay, that's a relief. So, where do we even begin? Okay, baby steps. I like that. That's much less intimidating. But how do I actually make sure those changes, stick? How do I stay motivated?
Well, I think setting realistic goals is a good place to start. And finding activities that you actually enjoy. If you hate running, Don't force yourself to go running. There's so many different ways to move your body. Find something that gets you excited and makes you feel good.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot where fitness feels fun and not like a chore, right? And where it feels like something I can actually stick with.
Exactly. And, remember, consistency is key. It's much better to make small changes that you can maintain over time rather than trying to do everything at once and then, bring out quickly.
This is making so much sense. I'm starting to see how this old school new body thing, it's not just a fitness system, it's more like a whole lifestyle shift.
I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's about making choices that support your overall well-being, physically and mentally.
I like it. Okay, so we've covered the key components, the nutrition, the resistance training, the HIIT. We even talked about overcoming those like inevitable plateaus we hit. And you've emphasized the importance of tracking our progress and making sustainable changes. Is there anything else we need to know before we wrap up?
There's one more important aspect of old school new body that I want to highlight. It's the importance of mindset.
Ooh, okay, mindset. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The book emphasizes that believing in your ability to achieve your fitness goals is absolutely crucial. It's about cultivating a positive mindset, focusing on what you can achieve rather than getting hung up on your limitations.
So it's not just a physical transformation, but a mental transformation as well.
Precisely. It's about developing what they call a growth mindset, where you see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow.
I love that. I think so many of us, we get stuck in those cycles of like self-doubt and negative self-talk, and that can really sabotage our efforts.
Absolutely. But the good news is that we can actually rewire those thinking patterns. And the book has some really great practical tips for overcoming those self-limiting beliefs and embracing a more empowering mindset.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got our action plan, we're tracking our progress, we're making sustainable changes, and we're cultivating that can-do mindset. I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty fired up, ready to take on this old school new body challenge. But before we jump into action, anything else we should keep in mind?
Yeah, actually, one thing that stood out to me is that the book really emphasizes finding joy in the process. You
Yeah.
know, it's not about punishing yourself or forcing yourself to do things you hate.
That makes a lot of sense. If we're not enjoying the journey, it's going to be that much harder to stay motivated.
Right. So, explore different activities, find what you genuinely love, and make fitness a fun part of your life, not something you dread.
Yeah, I love that. It's not about deprivation or drudgery. It's about finding movement that makes us feel alive and energized.
Exactly. And when you find that sweet spot, the results will follow.
Love it.
Yeah.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. We've learned so much about the old school new body system,
Yeah.
the science behind it, the practical steps we can take to reclaim that, youthful vitality. But before we wrap things up, I'd love to hear your final thoughts on all of this. What's the one thing you want our listeners to walk away with today?
Here's what I find really compelling about the old school new body system.
Yeah.
It's suggesting that this focus on regaining youthful vitality through fitness, it's not just about vanity, it's about investing in our long-term health and well-being.
Ooh, yeah, that's a powerful way to look at it.
Think about it. If we can improve our physical strength, boost our energy levels, and even sharpen our cognitive function, who knows what we'll be capable of achieving in the second half of our lives, right?
I love that perspective. It's not about desperately trying to turn back the clock. It's about, really optimizing the time that we have and living each day to the fullest.
Exactly. I think that's something worth striving for.
Absolutely. So even if we don't, adopt the entire old school new body system, could simply focusing on regaining that youthful vitality through fitness lead to a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life?
It's certainly a possibility worth exploring.
I think you've given our listeners a lot to think about. And as always, we encourage you to consider how you might apply even just one element of old school new body to your own life, even if you don't embrace the whole system. Maybe it's adding in a couple more strength training exercises each week, or, maybe it's just making sure you're getting enough protein.
Yeah, for sure. Small steps can lead to big changes, right?
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe those small changes will inspire people to dive deeper into old school new body and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I think you're right. Starting small can definitely create a ripple effect. And as you experience those positive changes, that can really fuel your motivation to, keep going, keep pushing yourself further.
Yeah, it's like that feeling of accomplishment when you finally nail that challenging workout or you start to notice your clothes fitting differently. It makes you want to keep going,
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a positive feedback loop. And the great thing about OSMB is that it's adaptable. So, you can tailor it to fit your own needs and preferences. It doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or you've been working out for years.
So there's really something in the system for everyone, no matter where they are in their fitness journey.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to take control of their health and their vitality. And that looks different for everyone. The important thing is to find what works for you and to enjoy the process.
I think that's such a good point, especially in the world of fitness and wellness. It's so easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others or feeling like we need to be perfect. But it seems like old school new body encourages a more balanced approach. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, that's definitely what resonated with me. It's not about striving for some unattainable ideal. It's about, you know, those gradual changes, those sustainable changes that support your health and well-being over the long term. And that's something we can all get behind, I think.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a truly insightful deep dive into old school new body. I feel like we've covered so much ground, not just the specifics of the system, but also the mindset that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's been a great conversation.
Yeah,
And I hope it's inspired some of our listeners to, maybe try incorporating some of these principles into their own lives.
absolutely. And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Even if you just take away one or two things from this deep dive, that's a win.
For sure. Every step you take towards better health is a step in the right direction.
Well said. We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the motivation to start reclaiming your own youthful energy and vitality. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. And until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep exploring.